Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to an Anfield Index special. I had to get the word out there, didn't I? The only reason I'm tripping over my words is the captain, the skipper, the Dutch Colossus, the 2-year extension is done now, ladies and gentlemen. We have him. Joining Mo Salah, the captain, Virgil van Dijk, is set to stay at Anfield for at least a couple of years. There's plenty to be excited about. There's plenty to be buzzing about. And the reason for that, ladies and gents, not just the eye test, but the metrics. And Bart, when I asked you to prep all these stats for the VVD special we're about to do, I bet it looked pretty impressive, didn't you? I bet there was a few moments of like, Christ, this is some player as you were pouring over these.
100%. He's, I think you said it before, he's a colossus. We often use the word unicorn when we talk on TMM a little bit, but I think Van Dijk is the key signing. I love Mo Salah, by the way, but Van Dijk for me makes our defensive system the way it is. Without him, we would be in a lot of trouble. And his ability to defend big spaces and play the high line and all the rest of it, and also be a phenomenal leader for the team. He's just unquestionably superb, really. It's just no point comparing him to other centre halves. He's the best in the league and has been best in the league, I would say, for the majority of his time at Liverpool, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. The best in the world, the best in the league. Absolutely central. I think for many, out of the three, the one that had to be done, whatever, so we can rejoice with this one. And let's get into it, Bart, because we know he's the best centre-half in the league. We know he's the best centre-half in the world. I mean, the stats, some of them, they're just brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is an overall summary for some of the top level. We'll do some other bits as we go through it. But for those who have been on previous pods, you know how it kind of works. But, you know, he's had over 3,000 touches, right, and 47 of those in the penalty box. Obviously, that's more than any other of our defenders, right?
Yeah.
But it shows you where he is. But to give you an understanding, his pass success is 92%. Right, so that is take away Kwanzaa hasn't played really enough for that, but it's better than any other defender. Successful passes, that's just 2,668 successful passes. That is more than any other defender. All right, he's attempted 2,900. It's just a phenomenal amount of ability on the ball, attacking wise. He's created, bearing in mind he's a centre half, right? So attacking metrics isn't normally where you'd start, but he's created 2.45 XG, right? That's more than any other defender.
Yeah.
He's just threat 6.31. So that switch that he's famous for, it does less so now, is incredibly high as well. Trent is probably the only one that is better than him, and Robbo, both foremost. But just a pure joy to watch as well. So that's sort of some of his on the ball stuff, but for those who know, I always try and look at what impact does he have on the team.
Yeah.
You know, I think so. When Virgil van Dijk starts a football match for Liverpool, we are 80% likely to win that game. All right, 80% in the league days. Yeah, so that's phenomenal. That's like a 90+ point season just from him starting. Yeah, so that is an amazing stat to have. What does it look like in terms of conceding? So what are we likely to concede? This is at over 1,000. So against in this period of time for 32 games, we shouldn't be conceding that many. These are the goals down here. So it's an extreme low amount, and we should be scoring the 90 goals. And we over the course of the season, you be looking at just about a goal, less than a goal a game. All right, so it's a truly phenomenal impact on a team, right? Okay, and if you look at him with his partners, with Kanate, still around 80% because they've played a lot of games together. Gomez again pretty high, and then some of the others are better. But it's an extremely good impact of Van Dijk playing as a centre half. Right? If you look at some of his let's break his passing down a bit more. So this is us combined as a big season, but where is he on his own? So typically, as we know, operates at left-hand side. Okay, duels around him, so the duels that he's taking part in are all blue. So in his direct box, he wins a lot. That's a lot of blue. There's not many red dots near him. Okay, that he's lost. And even in the second half, again, still same sort of area, winning a lot more blue than there is red. Okay, and that's his competitiveness in the box. We look at how is he involved. So he's involved in all length of passing chain, right? So that looks very busy because there's a large percentage that are in the very low, they're ticking over, but equally he's happy to be on the ball here for medium and long chain. So that's anything over 10 passes up to nearly 20 passes. He's involved in that. So what people might not realize is what's his ability to have progressive passes. So this is his profile plot. So again, mainly down the left there, but as you'll see here, these are the killer switches out to Mo Salah, which come up red because they're progressive. They're over 20% or 20 meters out wide. And he's also become quite good this half of punching that aggressive pass into zone 14, which is shown here. So again, his on-ball ability is something you just can't comprehend sometimes. He's brilliant defensively. Yeah, he's brilliant on the ball. His impact on others is also extremely rewarding as well. So yeah, he has an impact in, as a classic would say, both boxes. All right. Yeah. Just to look at some more in-depth analysis on him. So Van Dijk here, as we said, he's had a lot of touches. He's had 11% of our possession all season. Yeah. So for a defender, that's the highest. Yeah. So he's typically a ball out from Ali or a ball back from Athletics, and he'll have that ball. His aerial success, a little bit low for him this season, at about 69 on data I've got. Yes, this hasn't got a much recent game, but yeah, 69%. Dual success of 40 on the ground. But again, that's only beaten by Costas, to be fair, Costas and Piava. So there you go. In terms of the team EPV, 6% from centre half, right? If you look at his other centre half compatriots, they're nowhere near. Like, so he contributes to our attacking metrics really well. Pass success, nearly 92, as I said, really impressive. Big chances created. So this is him creating big chances for others, 5. Yeah. So that, considering the defence in total created 17, and he's created 5 of those, that is just, it's just an amazing ability. 2.4 XG on his own. Again, Trent, being who he is, has created a similar amount, but everybody is nowhere near. So, yeah, he's a truly brilliant player. If you look at who he passes the ball to, so these are his other centre-half partners, should we say, yeah? Konate, yeah, fair enough. You've got Mac, who sits in front of him, 2 goalkeepers, right back, midfielder, and occasionally strays out to Mo. But otherwise, he's not really hitting anyone further forward. Nah. Van Dijk, though, I mean, it's probably easier to say who isn't on his list. Yeah, he's got Mac, both goalkeepers, he's fullback. He's got Cody out wide. He's got Curtis playing at 10, Don playing at 10. He's got the other fullback. He's got Diaz. He's got Mo. He's got Trent. So, and these also to note, he's got everybody. The pass success of these as well. Look at that. All over 95% and some of 100, where others struggle to get near that. Yeah, it's just genuinely, if you look at players and their impact, it's just a brilliant contribution. Yeah. And for those who know, a little link back to what we had earlier on. So this is how much threat he's created for a player. Yeah. So for Mo Salah, he has created 0.6 EPV, yeah, which is a staggering amount considering he is a centre half. Costa's 0.6, Robbo 0.7, obviously because they get up and down. Trent, if I can just find out, at 0.22. But yeah, so for him to be at 0.6, 0.6 for a centre half to be doing that is just truly phenomenal to be doing that. All right. Touches, as you'd expect. This is where he is on the ball. Yeah. This is his little area. This is him off the ball. But yeah, some staggering stats there to take him forward, and his ability just on the ball and off the ball. In his own little areas, he's creating a fair amount of EPB, to be fair. We look at where he is. Yeah. So this shows you the impact he can have. So that is 28% of just what he creates for the season so far in his areas. Yeah. 20% in this area. So this is where he comes in, punches the ball in here or switches out wide. Again, that impact he has when he goes into that areas, he can create a threat from players that just can't do that. All right, as a centre half doing that. And defensively, just to look at, not to be too shocked, but in his own box, 24% of his defensive action. Again, be good in both boxes. Head of the ball, clearing it, doing the rest of it. That's his day job. But he's also a large amount of his defensive actions are in the left half space, and then centrally helping out his mate. No, it doesn't go out too wide too often. But yeah, on and off the ball, a truly magnificent footballer. To have him signed up for another 2 years is staggering, really. Staggering. And a great bit of business for us, really, I think.
Yeah, it just had to be done. Some of those metrics is scary when you see his defensive partners potentially, which I do want to talk about as well, just to see that he links with everyone and what he creates. And that Salah, that switch, it is renowned in world football, isn't it? And you mentioned his partner, because as long as Van Dijk is with someone, we're usually confident in most games. Yeah. Fortunately, maybe positively, I don't know how people want to put it. It has been Ibu, hasn't it, a large part of this season. He's been fit and done the majority. There's been the odd one with Kwanzaa, maybe Gomez has snuck in there. All we know is as long as Van Dijk is there, he will elevate his partners. He will make them better and make the overall metrics they produce better. We've no doubt about it. I'm guessing it'll show with Konate, maybe limited data on the others, but it'll be intriguing to see.
Yeah, I mean, to see, the thing you can do as well is look how he changes, right? So with Van Dijk, that's his position here, right? When you look at where he is with Konate, because it's pretty much the same, it doesn't really change a lot. But the thing we've also chatted about is how does he change with different defenders? So Gomez allows him to play a little bit different, and Kwanzaa a little bit different. But yeah, I think there's different elements you can pick out for each player. Let's just see if I had it. Yeah, Van Dijk. So Van Dijk here with Gomez. For Kwanzaa, it's just limited data with. But with Konate, it's a very similar position. But I think you'll find when he plays with Konate, he's happy to be the non-dominant. He's still dominant, but he doesn't. Like Konate is happy to win areas all day. But when he plays with Gomez and Kwanzaa and others, he then is happy to be the dominant centre half, and he allows the others to sweep up. So his position is slightly higher up the pitch than it would be for playing with others. But yeah, he's linked with others. It's just like that range of players he passes to is just mind blowing. Considering when Gomez plays centre half, he only passes to Van Dijk or Trent, right? So when Kwanzaa plays centre half, he passes to his right back, the 6, and Van Dijk, right? So Konate is a little bit more about him, but that just gives you the difference in level of centre half, right? So when Van Dijk playing, we have our passing ability is still there. We still tip between the boxes. When we play with Gomez, it's a little bit reduced. When we play with Kwanzaa, it's reduced. And Konate just hasn't got that range about him. So yeah, he does elevate others. I think he gives that, certainly allows. Typically we talk about on TNM about availability. We know Gomez and Kwanzaa are one's mid 60s, one's below 60s, but he counteracts that by being that dominant. Whereas for Konate's area was this series, is 76 actually better than Van Dijk. So and Joe's is high. So yeah, it's just he lets them play their game, and he's happy to supplement. When he plays with Konate, I think they're both going as being dominant centre halves, if you like. But yeah, I think it's like he's not a coach, but he talks. If you listen, you're there at the game a lot more than me, but he talks his back line through as well and tells them to play high and block the cross, do this, do that. It's the talking it through the game. And when he had Kwanzaa next to him back in the last season, He's very much just talking him through, be here, be here, be here. I'll cover you. You do your thing. And I think that's the platform he allows you to do by being so dominant in some key areas.
It's insane. It really is just how good Virgil van Dijk has been this season. And you know he'll be next season. You know he will be for a next couple of years. And I think even if, and we're almost moving into the summer a little bit with Virgil van Dijk, and it says with partners there on the screen. I mean, there's others linked, isn't there? Like we've talked about them, Gay, Dean Huijsen, who maybe aren't as aerially dominant as a Konate, but Liverpool are clearly after a centre-half. Is the fact that Van Dijk has renewed the big thing where they can think, actually, as long as I've got Virgil van Dijk, the other centre-half doesn't actually need to be a giant behemoth in the air, as long as they're obviously a certain standard, good on the ball, progressive, whatever it is. Having him there changes that element, doesn't it?
100%. But don't get me wrong, having him and Konate play is a huge safety blanket for the team. Right? They can both defend big spaces. They're really good. And yes, Konate isn't as good as on the ball as Van Dijk, but he's not bad. He's not bad. But he does something different as well. He can carry it, he can play it. So, but having said all of that, one of our best combinations we had was Joe Gomez and in the last time inside they played a lot of games together and they were superb. And what it meant was Joe was rapid, he could come around it. Van Dijk would just go and win everything. Joe would win as well, but he would just be on the ball, he'd offer something different. He'd do the punch passing, he'd carry it a bit more, he'd cover around any fast breaks, Joe would come and do it. So if you're looking at profiles of potential players to come in, Gaia, who's a Palace, he's fairly quick for a centre half. I don't watch a lot of Palace, and I don't watch a lot of England, but from what I have seen, he's quick. And he could do that, and he also has the aerial ability. Huijsen at Bournemouth is a different type of player as well. Aerially not as good, but Van Dijk back up for that. Huijsen's not as quick, but he has some ability on the ball, so he could offer us a different carry going forward. So I think now having the Colossus, the captain, signed up, it does enable you to go, do you know what? I can get this player. He might not have the aerial ability that we want, but he's still a good Premier League centre half and potential to go higher than that. So, I think it allows us to do a lot more things with that third, fourth position in the centre half group.
Yeah, it really does. It just feels a big game changer for the summer. So there you go, ladies and gents. He's signed, hasn't he? Another 2 years of the Dutch Colossus. Virgil van Dijk, the skipper, the icon, will be at Anfield until 2027. Maybe longer, who knows? But it is a day to rejoice. And when you look at those metrics, it's only happy news. All it needs me to say as ever, Bart, is for the insight, for the numbers, for the analysis. It is much appreciated, pal.
No worries, anytime.
And that, ladies and gents, was another AI special.